Hello. If you have tuned into this podcast, it is highly likely that you know in your soul that something huge is transpiring on the planet. Although you have likely always questioned the status quo, you are probably feeling as though you just can't keep participating in the world as you have been. It is as though your pre-2020 life just doesn't fit you anymore, but you might not quite know what does. It's highly likely that you don't feel the same, don't like the same things you used to, feel as though time is becoming more and more strange, and are called to make some radical changes in your life. It is also highly likely that the world appears more dysfunctional than ever, and that it's falling apart. There are many of us who feel the same way and believe that we are going through a massive shift in consciousness. The shift that I'm referring to has been called the Age of Aquarius, or 5D, fifth dimensional ascension. This vibrational momentum is impacting all of us on some level. We all have a choice right now to move out of the confines of the 3D matrix, which is bound by ego, fear, greed, hate, and suffering, into 5D consciousness, which is based on love and light. The 3D matrix is transforming, which means each of us is being energetically pulled to change with it. In addition to personal transformation, this will likely result in an inevitable collapse of many of our systems, which is why things feel so incredibly precarious. However, there is nothing to fear. Although the world may seem as though it's falling apart, we are actually creating a new Earth. This podcast will help you get a better understanding as to what's transpiring on this planet right now. My name is Dr. Christina, and I am an intuitive guide and author. In the spring of 2020, on one of my daily walks, I felt as though I understood the spiritual significance of what was transpiring on the planet. I realized that my purpose was to provide words to explain what we are experiencing in order to help other lightworkers navigate this challenging yet amazing time. It is highly likely that you too are a lightworker, someone who is here to shift into a higher state of consciousness and help the collective with the ascension process. It is no accident that each of us is here during this epic time. We are here to create a new Earth, and it is time for us to stand in our power. On the summer solstice of 2020, I traveled to Mount Shasta, where I believe I experienced a profound spiritual activation. I then felt the call of the mountain and moved here in the fall of 2021. Through my books, podcasts, articles, and intuitive healing services, I provide lightworkers with tools and inspiration to assist in aligning with this new age. I hope to inspire other lightworkers such as yourself to fully step out of the 3D matrix and fulfill your life's purpose as we create this blueprint for a new Earth. Although 2020 was a pivotal year within this shift, this actually began on the winter solstice of 2012. At that time, we began transitioning out of the age of Pisces, or third dimensional consciousness, into the age of Aquarius, or fifth dimensional consciousness. We are currently experiencing fourth dimensional frequency. Third dimensional consciousness is comprised of lower density vibrational frequency. When operating in the 3D, we tend to view ourselves as material beings, separate from others and operating from a concept of competition, scarcity, and victim consciousness. Living in third dimensional consciousness is essentially operating out of ego and fear. As we move into fourth dimensional frequency, we begin to awaken to the understanding that we are all connected, that there's more to life than the material, and that our thoughts and feelings impact our reality. As we ascend into fifth dimensional consciousness, we begin to fully operate from a place of love, compassion, and authenticity. Something to keep in mind is that these dimensions aren't places per se, but frames of mind. Many of us move between these states of consciousness. However, due to old programming and trauma, we revert back to lower levels. It is speculated that the concept of 5D dates back to the civilization of Atlantis, which operated from a fifth dimensional frequency. However, as the civilization developed, it became greedy, materialistic, and started operating from an ego perspective. Because of this, the civilization sank into the resonance of the third dimension and was eventually destroyed. Since that time, our planet has been operating from a 3D frequency. It was prophesied that humanity would once again be entering back into the fifth dimension, which brings us some hope during these seemingly bleak times. Many speculate that what we are currently experiencing is the collapse of the 3D matrix, and most of us will transcend into this fifth dimensional state. In 2020, we had a huge contraction in this birthing process. This was just the beginning of many more to come. Ever since 2020, more and more of us are waking up to the state of the world. We are seeing with more clarity the collective shadow, as well as the illusions we have been programmed to believe. Although we're ultimately heading to a better place, it appears as though our planet is in a state of crisis. The condition of our planet can be seen as a projection of the collective consciousness, which is illuminating the consequences of our ego-driven life. The world appears dysfunctional as a way of illuminating our inner dysfunction, which is prompting many of us to question every aspect of our lives and the world we live in. As we move into fifth dimensional consciousness, we are moving out of ego into love. We are being asked to examine our stories, our ego selves, and evolve. And in order to live at this higher vibrational state, we need to work through all of our emotional baggage to align with this higher frequency. We are clearing many lifetimes of trauma and old programming from the age of Pisces, which is approximately 2,500 years worth. This deep emotional housekeeping has definitely been challenging and exhausting. It is so important for each of us to truly understand that we are not victims in the world, but the creators of our reality. It is time for each of us to take responsibility over what we are contributing to the collective and make some radical changes. And in order to change the planet, we all need to change individually. Because 5D consciousness is living in alignment with spirit, I believe our main objective right now is to evolve spiritually. This is why, more than ever, many are now exploring spirituality and metaphysics. We can get into alignment with this higher frequency by doing our work, by working through our pain and traumas, changing our limiting beliefs, and becoming more mindful as to how we are living our lives. Many of us are experiencing profound changes as a result of this shift. Although it has been emotionally and physically challenging because we are working through lifetimes of trauma, we are experiencing profound opportunities for personal growth, as well as upgraded physical changes. We are also being infused with light, as well as other energetic frequencies, to start preparing us for this upgraded consciousness. Not everybody will be choosing to align with this higher vibrational state, but I believe in time most will. We all have the opportunity right now to manifest a better world. This is truly a profound time in history on our planet. Because the main theme of the Age of Aquarius is free-spiritedness and self-reliance, we all need to let go of this old programming of victim consciousness. Because of our victim consciousness, we allow fear to dictate our lives. We look outside of ourselves for answers, and we give our power away. This is important because in spiritual terms, fear is the opposite of love. I believe most of us would love to transform and rebuild the world on the foundation of love, which begins by confronting and letting go of our fears. From a collective perspective, we are also examining with greater scrutiny our systems, such as government and corporations. We are seeing that the systems we have created are becoming increasingly more corrupt and no longer serving us, which is why more than ever we are questioning these systems and exposing the truths behind them. As we shift into the Age of Aquarius, we may no longer be looking to government or big corporations for guidance and support, but shifting to more community-based living. Whatever the future holds, we are definitely more prepared. Something important to understand is that the universe never gives us anything we can't handle. and that everything we are experiencing is for our greater good and spiritual growth. We chose to be part of this collective shift. If we are rooted in the material constructs and the old way of doing things, this shift will likely be painful. However, if we are spiritually aligned, there is nothing to fear. The next contraction in this birthing process will likely be a shock to those who are still not fully aware of where we're headed. We will likely have a lot of work ahead of us, helping those who will need guidance as we continue building this new earth. If you are interested in learning more about this shift, please follow me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Additionally, my book, The Journey of Discovering Inner Peace, is a great resource to help you get into alignment with this new age. I am so excited to be on this journey with you.